So those of you who have DM'd me in the past with any questions about the build or questions about any part or what spec wheels you should run, you guys know that I never gatekeep. You know, you just ask and you'll receive. So I've had guys ask me about this blow-off valve port, and I literally just told every single one how to make it. And so I decided to just make this video, and it'll make it easier for you guys. A lot of people have misinformation about how the OEM blow-off valve works, and they automatically assume that any aftermarket blow-off valve is unsafe for the car because it vents to atmosphere, and the OEM blow-off valve relies on a recirculation system. HKS already knows this, and they've offered a recirculation system for a long time. The only thing that changes is you take out the inner fitting of the blow-off valve and swap it for the recirculation fitting. They offer it in 19mm inner diameter and 29mm inner diameter. Which one you need is really gonna depend on your application, but I know for the 10th gen cars we need the 19mm. If you go on the HKS website, they give you a part number 71002AK003. So that's the fitting that you need. I'll put the link in the description for that. So once you've got the fitting, all you need to do is get a hose long enough to go from that fitting to the recirculation port on your intake coupler. If I had to guess, I would say about 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet of piping that you can get from any auto parts store or Amazon. Since I was the first to try to figure out how I can get the recirculation kit to work with the 10th gen Civic, I made my own port on the PRL coupler. So you're gonna figure out where the port goes basically just by estimating based on the coupler that HKS provides with the recirculation kit. So once you decide on the spot, you've got to figure out how to make a hole there, right? We'll get into that in a bit, but first let's go over the fittings. So in the beginning, I took the recirculation kit hose to Home Depot and found some fittings that would work. One with a male end, one female end, so I could sandwich it together with the coupler in between. I bought these rubber washers so that I can put in between also, so no air would leak. I made sure to use Loctite on the threads, and I also put JB Weld around. I haven't swapped to the new port I found yet because, you know, it's not broken. I don't like messing with things that are working perfectly fine. I just got it just in case one day I want to swap because it does look a bit cleaner. I was able to find this new port hardware kit online, and I'll put that link in the description. Make sure to purchase the 19mm version. It's basically exactly what I did, but it looks cleaner. It comes with a hole punch and washer and everything you need. One thing though is I ended up not using the hole punch because you're supposed to wedge some wood in between and give it a good hit, but these PRL couplers are so thick, they're like 4-ply silicone. So I just used the hole punch they provide to make a mark on the coupler to see how wide I need the hole to be. And then I used a step-up drill bit to drill through. And once I was able to insert the threaded male end of the port kit, I cleaned it up a bit before installing it. You're going to want to put the rubber washer on the inside of the coupler, and then you've got a metal washer for the outside. Then I put some blue Loctite on the threads, and then I thread on the port piece. Once you've tightened it, you're good to go. So now that you've got your port for the recirculation kit on the intake coupler, all you've got to do is connect the hose going from the recirculation fitting on the blow-off valve to the intake coupler. And the way that HKS has you run it is going underneath the intake coupler, so you probably want to do that. And HKS provided these like plastic loom pieces. I'm assuming they provide this and you place it where any hose with hot coolant or something is touching. So you guys can, you know, DIY this also. Just find something that'll fit around the hose, and I mean, you can just do the whole thing or just place it in the spots where you see water hoses. Once you've got it all installed and running, get ready for some crazy turbo blow-off valve sounds.